Congressman Chris Smith has probably done more than anyone in the House of Representatives on the issue of life. He's from New Jersey. He's a New Jersey Republican, and he's also chairman of the House Foreign Affairs Subcommittee on Human Rights, and he joins us now. Congressman Smith, you're a great person to have on today, as I'm almost speechless, and I'm literally brought breathless by this statement from Biden.
Well, Laura, this is just exposing what this administration has been doing from day one, just like the 8 years of the Clinton administration, and that is to enable dictatorship, to enable forced abortion and forced sterilization. Let's not forget that at the Nuremberg War Crimes Tribunal, forced abortion was properly construed to be a crime against humanity. It is no less a crime against humanity today, and there's our vice president saying that he fully understands the one-child per couple policy, which has made brothers and sisters illegal in China. Imagine that. Every American that has a sibling or knows somebody who has a sibling in China, brothers and sisters are illegal, and the government, Big Brother in Beijing, tells you when and if you can even have the one. No one unwed mothers have children. They're all hunted down and forcibly aborted unless they have their child on the run and hide out and can evade the so-called family planning cadres. Hillary Clinton, en route to Beijing after being selected as Secretary of State, said, "I'm not going to allow human rights to interfere," her word, "with settling or peddling our debt as well as global warming." Obama, when he had Hu Jintao in town, who ought to be held for genocide and crime against humanity at the World Court, he said nothing. Had a state dinner for this man who ought to be behind bars, being held to account for his atrocities, including those focused on women. So this is in pattern. This is what these people. There's nothing except the exposition of their duplicity, their enabling. I've held 29 congressional hearings on human rights abuses in China with a focus in whole or in part on the forced abortion policy. It is hideous. Women are hunted down if they evade these family planning cadres into the 9th month. They are forcibly brought into a clinic and aborted. I had a woman, Hu Jintao, a Chinese student here in the United States, who finally got asylum, and she told her story how they literally held her father, they held other people until she surrendered for the so-called voluntary abortion, and then she was literally gruffly had her baby removed, and she said they actually put the one of the body parts on her to mock her. That's how cruel this policy is. And there's Joe Biden saying that he fully understands this one-child per couple policy. That is a outrageous statement. And, he prides himself on his combating violence against women. This is the worst, most pervasive act of violence against women anywhere in the world. It is systematic and it is state-sponsored. And the United States of America under Obama, Hillary Clinton, and now the vice president in this outrageous statement is showing the world that we do not care about Chinese women and about Chinese babies. 500 women in China every day commit suicide. 500.
No, it's in the 400 million deaths of children because of this one-child policy.
Oh, I know. Laura, they're missing 100 million girls because of sex-selected abortion in China, which has exacerbated human trafficking and sex slavery in China. 40 million men cannot find wives by 2020 because they've been systematically exterminated by the state. I offered the First Amendment combating forced abortion in China after Stephen Mosher broke the story in 1982-83. In 84, I offered a comprehensive amendment, no funding to the UN Population Fund or any other NGO or group that aids and abets these atrocities, and it passed. That was 27 years ago. Since then, the reporting, and for Biden to be so utterly naive or worse, duplicitous, in promoting this policy, looking askance as women are so cruelly mistreated. Finally, Chen Guangzhen, the great blind activist who he and his wife, he was in prison because he defended women against forced abortion in Linyi. Okay, he has been subjected to numerous beatings under house arrest. Biden should have went and visited Chen and his wife.
Well, here's the thing: is why doesn't Biden do that? Why doesn't he make a real statement? And Congressman, thank you for joining us. We're out of time.
Thank you, Laura, so much.
It's just an outrage. Congressman Chris Smith, New Jersey, who's just so far ahead on this issue and always has been, and has just been a real warrior for what is right and real life in the U.S. House of Representatives. We appreciate it.
Laura, thank you so much for your leadership.
You take care, Congressman. And look, here's what we know. There are people right now struggling in China to get the truth out about what's happening there, because we're reading the stories about how China's working with GE and there's this joint venture to build planes and isn't this great? It's helping American businesses. We hear about all those stories. But what about the stories about the black sites, the re-education camps, and the people whose houses have been burned down because they violated the one-child policy? Where are those stories? Mr. Vice President, I hope you get to confession.